Bill Shakespeare Project presents This Week in Shakespeare for the week ending Monday, July 23rd, 2018. Hola, Bardophiles. I'm Bill, and welcome to the 205th episode of This Week in Shakespeare, a podcast brought to you by the Bill Shakespeare Project. This is our weekly opportunity to let you know about the latest and greatest in Willie Shakespeare headlines coming at you every Tuesday because, well, you know, Tuesday is news day. The goal here is to hit you with a quick blast, no more than 10 minutes tops, of Bard-related news. Plus, we'll try to serve up some historical dates for what were the past 7 days of the year. So, this week's news stories included: Broadway World ran the announcement from Shakespeare's Globe in London that their current production of The Winter's Tale will be live broadcast to over 400 cinemas in the UK in October. Hopefully, this means that we'll get to see it stateside sometime next year. Metro.us brought us the story of what Shakespeare in the Park is really like, as told by members of the cast and crew. It's a fun little read. Bedford and Bowery ran the story of Shakespeare in the parking lot being saved, as community activists and fans rallied for the cause, ensuring that the outdoor parking lot-based festival will remain something New Yorkers can find in their midsummer evenings. The BBC was one of many media outlets to cover the controversy over the Pop-Up Globe New Zealand production of The Taming of the Shrew. The producers have clumsily attempted to co-opt the #MeToo hashtag to sell an all-male production. I mean, really, what were they thinking? Pedestrian ran the fun story of the recent meme storm, that is the use of Parks and Rec screen caps to tell the stories of some of Shakespeare's plays. It's fun stuff. DC Metro Theater Arts reviewed Love's Labour's Lost by Annapolis Shakespeare Company, currently running through July 29th in Annapolis, Maryland, calling it superb. The New York Times reviewed Coriolanus by Stratford Festival, running through October the 20th in Ontario, Canada, calling it riveting and thrilling stagecraft, but one that invites criticism from more traditional audiences. The New York Times also reviewed The Taming of the Shrew by Hudson Valley Shakespeare Festival, now running through August 24th in Garrison, New York, giving it a positive review and saying it's hard not to have rosy feelings about this shrew. The Marin Independent Journal reviewed Pericles by Marin Shakespeare, running through August the 5th in San Rafael in Northern California, calling the show a highly enjoyable production of one of Shakespeare's most delightfully strange plays. And finally, the Times Union reviewed As You Like It by Saratoga Shakespeare Company, running in New York State through the weekend, calling the production engaging and entertaining. Now let's take a look back on the last 7 days and how they relate to Shakespearean history, both his and the history in his plays. On July 17th, 1453, the English lost the Battle of Castillon, the last major battle of the 100 Years' War, and a decisive French victory. It meant the English gave up all lands in France, except for Calais. Talbot and his son were killed in this battle, as depicted in the first part of Henry VI. On July 18th, 1536, Parliament passed an act extinguishing the authority of the Bishop of Rome, effectively voiding papal authority in England, following the creation of the Anglican Church 2 years earlier. This led to Henry VIII's excommunication by Rome in December of 1538. On July 19th, 1950, Adrian Noble, famed theatrical director and one-time artistic director of the Royal Shakespeare Company, was born. On July 20th, 1398, Roger Mortimer, 4th Earl of March, died in battle at Kells. He was the heir presumptive to Richard II, but predeceased him by a year. His brother, Edmund, is the ransomed Mortimer, for whom the Percys are rebelling in Henry IV, Part 1. On July 21st, 1403, the Battle of Shrewsbury took place, a part of the Percy rebellions, 1402 to 1408, against Henry IV. Hotspur's defeat and death ended his revolt against Henry IV. During the battle, Prince Hal was hit in the face with an arrow and was scarred for life. They basically had to open up his face and screw the arrowhead out of his skull. The battle, and not the injury, was depicted in the first part of Henry IV. On July 22nd, 1461, Charles VII of France died at age 58. His father, Charles VI, had recognized Henry V as the heir to the throne of France, and his sister Catherine married Henry V. Charles was depicted as the Dauphin in the first part of Henry VI and as King Charles in the third part of Henry VI. Also on this date, in 1598, the Merchant of Venice was entered into the Stationers' Company registered by James Roberts. On July 23, 1403, Thomas Percy, 1st Earl of Worcester and uncle to Harry Hotspur Percy, was executed after being captured 2 days earlier at the Battle of Shrewsbury. The Percy rebellions, 1402 to 1408, were depicted in the first and second parts of Henry IV. And that was your Week in Shakespeare, brought to you by the Bill Shakespeare Project. Now, if you enjoyed this news review, tell a friend and hit the subscribe button to keep from missing these news, reviews, and history videos. For our daily blog and previous Twiz episodes, including links to the news stories we've covered, as well as the real Bill Shakespeare Project podcast, check us out at thebillshakespeareproject.com. And we'll catch you next week.